All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday night training. Super excited for what we have in store for you tonight. Shawn Poe here. And I am going to be talking tonight on the follow-up. And then we've also got Joanne Shearer, who's going to be talking about one of the products out of our weight management system, Physique, the Cleanse product, I believe. So super excited to hear her. She's been a celebrity lately on the talking tour. We had her recently interviewed with the CEO of Lifevantage, Darren Jensen. Awesome job. And we're wowed always by your knowledge and your expertise at what you bring to the table. So let's jump right into it. Tonight, the training side on the business is going to be the follow-up. And, you know, when we talk to people, I think that this is an area that's often overlooked as an area that we could really emphasize quite a bit more. People, they talk about, you know, that they struggle with their database and inviting, getting people to meetings. But, you know, I'll contend that people have just as much issue after the fact that somebody's seen the information on what do you do next? How do you follow up with people? How do you lead them to the next part, the next step in the process? How do we get them from A to B to C? And then get them to a decision. Because really, you know, people fall into three categories. After they've seen the information, they're a yes, a no, or a maybe. The no's, we want to continue to drip information on them. We want them to know that if something changes in their life, they can get back to us. And we're still going to have follow-up. We're still going to have information. We're going to ask them for permission that if new science comes out, or if, let's say, new financial news comes out, new products come out, we come back from an event, just touching base with them every once in a while to let them know what's going on, what's new with the company, what's changed. So even our no's, they're not dropping off of our database. We're continuing to drip on them, continuing to follow up and see what's going on with their life as well. Now the maybes, we're just looking for what information are they truly needing to become a yes or a no decision in the process. So the follow-up with the maybes looks a little bit different, and you need to understand from them exactly what they're looking for. Ask enough questions that you can uncover what's holding them back from being a yes or a no. Is it more science? Is it more belief in the company? Is it they don't understand the business side of things, or they're not comfortable with network marketing? Whatever their objections or their concerns are, you need to get them out on the table and continue to ask, well, if you had that information, is that all that you're looking for? If you had more science on XYZ, would that be enough to know if this is for you or not? So finding out that information is going to be vital for following up with them and knowing what the next step is in the process. And I'll get a little bit more into that here in a second. But then the yeses as well. We've got to follow up and know, okay, yes, they're excited, they're ready to get going. How do you get them into the system, and when's it going to happen? We don't want them to walk out of, let's say, a home meeting all excited and ready to go, but we've never taken the opportunity to find out when we're going to enroll them, when we're going to get them started, right? We would like to do it on site, but it doesn't always happen. So having that plan in is part of the follow-up, because once somebody's left, we know it can be challenging to get their attention. We're busy. We all have busy lives, and getting them back on board sometimes is difficult even when they are a yes. So understanding that part of it is very crucial. I want to pull up something on my my iPad really quick. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see what I see, because the statistics are absolutely mind-blowing when you start to look at following up and just how little people actually do it. And, you know, the statistics can be a little bit different than this. They might vary a little bit, but the fact of the matter is the same across the board, even if it swings plus or minus 10 percentage points on different statistics that you see. So let's take a look at this. And keep in mind, you know, this is just a general statement for sales in general. And we're not necessarily a sales business, but the follow-up is just as vital for us as it is for somebody that considers themselves a salesperson. So look at this, sales statistics. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. Never. They don't. They give them the information once. A decision may or may not have been made, but they never, ever follow up. So that's half. Half of people will never follow up with a prospect even once. 25% of people make a second contact and then stop. 12% of people only make 3 contacts and then stop. Only 10% of people make more than 3 contacts. But then listen to this, okay? If half of all people are stopping after the first follow-up with the prospect, or they don't even make it to the second, only 2% of the sales are made on the first contact, and only 3% of sales are made on the second contact. Can you imagine the difference in your business if you just made it to contacting somebody a third or a fourth time? You've doubled the amount of people potentially coming into your business. 5% of sales are made on the third contact, 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. Now, if you add those up, so the first, the second, the third, and the fourth contact right here in this particular set of statistics is saying 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 10, 20% of sales are being made in the first, second, third, or fourth contact. So that means that 80% of all sales are after the fourth contact, the fifth contact to the 12th. That's incredible. And the thing that I think people often struggle with is how and when to do the follow-up. When is too much? When is not enough? When should somebody come off the database? Those questions, I think, come up far more often than they actually should. And the reality is this, is every single case is going to vary. It's going to vary from person to person to person. I can't give you a clear A to B strategy on this, on when it's right for every single individual, because it needs to take some common sense, and it needs some paying attention on your part on the response that you're getting for somebody. Now, if we tell you that, it takes at least 5 contacts for 80% of all sales to happen, that doesn't mean that you contact somebody 5 times a day for the next 5 days, and that's 25 contacts. Okay, because that's when you're going to start to have people that aren't returning your calls. They're not listening to your voice messages. They're not returning text messages. They're just avoiding your contact at all costs. And the most important thing in this business, you guys, is our relationships. It's a relationship business. And if we start to sabotage our relationships, we're never going to get to the point that we're bringing more people in. And I love Michelle's patience with this. The people that we honestly sign up today, we've talked to a lot of them for years. It might be 2 years, 3 years before we even get them on the product as customers. And then it might be another year after that before they're coming into our business as a distributor. But I promise you this, we're not burning any relationships with anybody that we have in the follow-up or getting the information in front of them, because we're being cognizant of how much is too much. And when we start to feel any relationships start to get damaged or start to close off because of how much we're talking about what we have our hands on, because reality is this, is we're passionate, we're excited, we're fired up about what we're doing, and we want people to know about it. But we also have to have the common sense and be cognizant of the reaction we're getting from people, because not everybody's going to see it like we see it. So I want you guys to keep that in mind in the follow-up. It is check the reaction, check the pulse. If somebody tells you, hey, I just don't want to hear it, I get what you're saying, it's just not for me, tell them it's okay. I know that it's not for everybody. Confirm what they're thinking in their head, and just give the doorway a little bit of opening for down the road. Hey, I'm not going to bring this up. If something does change with you, I would love it if you would just get back to me, because this is a business of mine, and I would like you in it if something changes down the road. And then, maybe adding in, would you mind if a new product comes out, or we have somebody like Joanne Shearer is going to talk about one of the products, and, I think that you might have interest in that. Would you mind if I shot you that, maybe every 3 or 4 months, something your way? So leave the door open a little bit. But the follow-up, you guys, if you're not doing it, if you're taking people off your database, I'm telling you, you're losing a huge potential. You're losing probably the majority of what could be in your business by not continuing to follow up and treating them like they are a no forever. So let's take a look at one more thing. I want to share my screen one more time. Hopefully you guys are able to see what I'm pulling up here, because I think that this part is important as well. It should be jumping on here. So let's look at why some people are successful. And again, this is in relation to just sales in general, but I think it has strong application on what we're talking about as well. And it's getting into, those numbers again, and the tenacity, the results in following up with people. But I want you to think about this. Introduce a 5 no's follow-up strategy. Okay, because if we're saying that only 1% of sales happen the first time, or 2%, and only up to 20% are happening with 4 contacts, what if you introduced a 5 no's strategy that you are following up until you got 5 no's from people, but you're doing it over the course of time? You're not doing it in a week. You're not doing it in a month. You're doing it over the course of several months, where you're getting a little bit of information. You're continuing to drip on people, but you're getting a 5 no strategy before you would ever consider somebody to be a no into your organization as a customer or a distributor. So with this, what I'm saying is, let's say we share the ABC primetime video. Somebody saw an opportunity meeting, and that counts as their first no. Okay, and then maybe we're following up. Let's say, for example, you just got back from Denver, Colorado. You're super fired up. You learned some things that you didn't know about your business before, and now you're starting to take that and you're sharing that with some of your friends and family. Hey, I just got back from Denver, Colorado. I learned this. I got to share it with you. Could you spend 5 minutes with me? Because I didn't realize this about blank. And then you get them on the phone. You get them in a conversation. Maybe you're at a sporting event with a kid, or back to school night, whatever it is. But you're just having another opportunity to be in front of them and give them more information. Okay, when the National Institute of Health, when that study, or the National Institute on Aging, that department within the National Institute of Health, when that study came out on the longevity, that this was the only proven product that could increase longevity, that could be another instance where you're using this to get a 5 no follow-up strategy, where you're calling somebody up and saying, hey, I'm super excited about this. Did you know the government just completed a decade-long study on a bunch of drugs and nutraceuticals, some plant-based things, and the only thing that they found to increase life that's a nutraceutical or a supplement was Protandim? This is absolutely crazy. Can you imagine the ability to improve people's quality of life and increase their lifespan as well? This is nuts what we have our hands on. This technology is gonna change the world. And that might be another no, that they come back from that and they're like, hey, that's great information. I'm glad that you shared it with me, but it's not what I'm looking for right now. So I'm telling you that there's a lot of different things. And normally, in a Lifevantage Academy, we might spend 20, 30 minutes on a subject like this. And we do have limited time tonight because we definitely want to get into the cleanse portion. But I'm telling you to think about the statistics that I first went over when we got onto this training tonight. And think about the what ifs. What if you change your business where no matter what, you are at least going with a 5 no strategy with every single person in your database, what the difference would be, because 80% of all sales, 80% of all people coming into others' businesses is happening sometime between the 5th and the 12th follow-up. Okay, just that little bit of knowledge, just tweaking your business a little bit with that information should allow you to have huge, significant strides over the course of time. And keep in mind, just like anything else, a strategy like this is not going to change your business overnight. It takes time to implement this and then run its course. So you have to be consistent with your change in your business. That if you say that today, okay, yes, starting today, I'm going to change my business to a 5 no follow-up strategy, it might take 6 months before you're getting 5 no's from people in your database, right? So you're waiting for that long at least to see what it does to your business. And I challenge you with this. I challenge you with this before we get Joanne on here to talk about the cleanse, is if you gave yourself a 6-month period of time between now and, let's say, the end of January, do you think that this little small change, this fine-tuning in your business would make a difference? And if you're telling yourself that it would, if you're saying yes, that this would make a difference in your business, you are absolutely crazy to not integrate it immediately. Okay, make the small changes in your business that are going to make the difference over time. And I promise you, you're going to see different results than what you're seeing today, even if your business is blowing up currently. You're going to see a lot more things change rapidly in your business by being consistent, making small changes, making course corrections, getting back to the basics. Nothing I've talked about today is new. None of this. And nothing that you hear on any of these Sunday night calls should be new information unless you're brand new into network marketing are brand new into Lifevantage. It's the basics. It's the building blocks. It's what we do over and over and over again. Joanne's been in the business for 6+ years. Michelle and I have been in the business for 6+ years, but we still continue to have to go back to these basics to get our business moving and to maintain the momentum that we all want in our business. So I know I talked quick. I went over quite a few different points there. Again, we could spend probably another 15-20 minutes going through different portions of the follow-up, but I hope that those were a few nuggets that you can take away immediately and integrate into your business. And I want to bring on Joanne. Joanne, like I said at the beginning of the call, she's one of the most knowledgeable people that I know about the products that we have our hands on. And it's because of her background. It's because of what she did prior to coming in. And Joanne, she was a registered dietitian, nutritionist with over 40 years experience, multiple different practice settings. She's held positions in critical care nutrition, public health nutrition, diabetes self-management, food nutrition management. It goes on and on and on. She's had leadership positions in the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. She was instrumental in the development of standards of practice for the dietetics profession. She is somebody that knows her stuff. She's a trend-setting dietitian who's been at the forefront of numerous trends in nutrition and dietetics. So I want to turn the time over to Joanne now to let you in on a little bit behind what we have our hands on the product. So Joanne, it's all yours.
All right. Okay, Shawn, thank you very much. Hey, I'm really thrilled to be invited to speak tonight on the subject of our physique products. In particular, I'm going to talk about the physique cleanse, which is the first step of our physique weight management system, and that is your 1 week cleanse before you start the rest of the products if you're brand new to the physique weight management system. Our physique weight management system is very unique, and as far as what I see in the industry, because the number one goal, the first goal with the system, is to get the gut working and to fix the gut first. And we do that first with the physique cleanse, and then we follow up with the probiotic and the rest of the products. But the physique cleanse and the probiotic are really kind of complementary products, and that's why you need to have them both in your monthly routine, even if you're not on a weight management program. These two products really do work together, and you'll understand that after I finish up my little talk here tonight. And the physique cleanse really is it's about clean digestion. And yes, some of the herbals in the cleanse do helps with detoxification. One of the herbs particularly with the liver. But I think that really what we're doing is we're focused on the gut here. This is to get the gut to get it cleaned. It is also to get some good prebiotic fibers introduced to your gut. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. So what is in the cleanse? The cleanse consists of 5 herbals, prebiotic fiber called fructooligosaccharides, and you don't have to say that fast 3 times. I have not been able to do that myself. And then magnesium. So I'm going to talk a little bit about each one of those herbals and what they do. The first one is Irish moss. It's actually a superfood. It has a number of health benefits. It's actually a seaweed that's found along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, little tidbit there. And some of the health benefits, it actually has benefits for skin health. It has antiviral properties. It soothes and heals digestive tract, and it helps you to detoxify from heavy metals. The next one is ginger root powder, and I think most of us are familiar with ginger root and how great that is for calming an upset stomach. It also has anti-inflammatory properties, and it also can help to lower risk of infections. It's antibacterial as well. So again, there's at least a dozen health benefits of ginger root, besides just being good for your gut. The next one's buckthorn bark powder, and it's a mild laxative and stool softener. And again, that's part of that cleanse and getting the gut going. The next one is Chinese rhubarb root, and I found out a little tidbit about this one. It is one of the oldest plants that's been used in the Chinese medicine model. In fact, they said it's been used since about 2500 BC, so it's been around for centuries, like the other herbals in Protandum. It has a very soothing effect on the GI tract. And it also it helps moving the digestive system and the peristalsis in the gut. And it's really I found one research article that said that actually Chinese rhubarb root is just as effective as a medicine out there for internal bleeding. So just to give you an idea, just how soothing this herb is for your gut. The next one is dandelion root powder. We always think of the dandelions, as those weeds that we're trying to get rid of those in South Dakota. But I found out that dandelion root is actually a superfood, okay? It also has about at least a dozen different health benefits. But it's known as a digestive aid. It also has a little mild laxative properties. It promotes digestion. And it also helps to release the release of bile from your gallbladder, which you need also for good digestion. It's good for the kidneys. It's a mild diuretic, and for your liver, can help remove toxins, and also has benefits for the urinary tract when you combine it with uva ursi. Well, that's the last one of the 5 that I'm going to talk about is uva ursi. And uva ursi has this antiseptic benefit for the kidneys and for your urinary tract, which is also really important. And it kind of promotes that urinary flow, so you're able to, reduce the bloating and the water retention that you get. So that's the 5 herbals that's in the cleanse. So let's talk about the fiber. It's called again, as fructooligosaccharides. This is called a prebiotic fiber. And what they are, they're special fibers. And these fibers are fertilizer for your good gut bacteria. And so when you take your cleanse that week, right, you're getting these fibers way down, these fructooligosaccharides way down into your colon. And that's what's really fantastic about our probiotic. Remember, it has the BioTrack control release technology. And I tell people it seeds the small and large bowel over 12 hours. And so our probiotic ensures that the good gut bacteria get into your large colon. Well, that is critical because those good gut bacteria get into the colon. What they do is they feed on these fibers. And when they feed on these fibers, they produce something called short-chain fatty acids. These short-chain fatty acids are important for your immune system. They're anti-inflammatory. They prevent the growth of tumor cells in your colon. They help with blood sugar control. And they help you with weight management. You think, fatty acids help with weight management? These are really, really specialized, different kind of fatty acids. What they do is they actually help with the production of anti-hunger hormones and can help with hunger and decrease your hunger. So I've actually heard people report back and say they couldn't believe how when they started our probiotic, the fact that they weren't as hungry. And that's because the good gut bacteria are getting way down there in the colon. And then you get the prebiotic fibers from the cleanse in there. And then the two work together, right? You got the fiber for the fuel, and you got the good gut bacteria, and they work to produce these short-chain fatty acids. And then the last nutrient, an ingredient in our cleanse is magnesium. And magnesium also has some mild gut cleansing effects. It also can have a calming effect, magnesium, and probably more than anything, it restores levels of magnesium in your serum, because magnesium deficiency is very common in the United States. And in fact, it's called a shortfall nutrient. U.S. Food and nutrition surveys show that Americans are only consuming about 1/2 of the recommended requirement of magnesium. And we're getting 300 milligrams of magnesium in our cleanse. The recommended allowance for men is 320, the other way around. Women 320, men 420. So you see, you're getting almost your daily requirement of magnesium when you're taking that cleanse. So this is another benefit of the cleanse, is getting and restoring your magnesium levels, also having that like I said, magnesium has a calming effect. I like magnesium. I take it at bedtime because it helps with leg cramps. Now, I don't have any specific research I can show you on that, but that's experience I've had and many other people. So let's talk a little bit about who can take our cleanse. If you read the product information sheet, which you should do on all of our products, right? If you haven't done that, you need to go and read all of the product information sheets. You can also pull up the labels at Lifevantage website also when you go to your back office and order. It's not for pregnancy or nursing or anyone under 18 years of age. Now, if anybody has had any problems with diarrhea, Crohn's, inflammatory bowel disease, you should really, really be using this with caution. In fact, the product sheet says that you should definitely talk to your doctor. In fact, the product information sheet says, like with everything else, consult your doctor if you have a medical condition, or especially a medical condition related to your gut, okay? And how to take it: 2 caps in the morning and 2 caps at night. Now, I recommend that you take it on an empty stomach. Now, when I take it in the morning, first thing, and I keep my cleanse by my sink. And so I take it first thing when I get up in the morning with a full glass of water, and I take, same thing at night. I take my 2 pills of the cleanse with a full glass of water. It's an easy way to remember to do that. And of course, then what to expect. And this is what everybody wants to know. You know, am I going to poop more? You know, what am I going to happen? Am I going to get, am I going to get a little rumbling, or what's going to happen in my gut? Well, you know what? Everybody's different. I can tell you, it really varies. And I can tell you by the 3rd day, for me personally, I can tell you, I know I've been taking my cleanse. So I can tell you, for me, I really feel that this is a great product. I like the fact that, we're taking the cleanse because it's part of that weight management system. It's so important to get the gut working. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had patients referred to me because they have terrible constipation, their gut's not working. So I like the fact that we can help people with getting their gut working again, but also think about all of the health benefits of the herbals that are in the cleanse. So you can see there's anti-inflammatory effects and benefits of those herbals. You can see that they're going to help with some, as far as your immune system, helping you to fight infections. So like with Lifevantage, I have to say that what I love about our company is the fact that they give us such great products. And I am very excited about the fact that this is a product I take every month. I start on day 1 of each month, and I take the bottle for the first week of the month. But for me, instead of I just do from day 1 to day 7. It's just easy to remember it that way, that I take my monthly cleanse. And I hope that you do that too. Okay, okay, Shawn, I'm going to turn it back.
Awesome. I love it. And, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to try something else too. And this can integrate both of what Joanne was talking about and what I was talking about on the follow-up. So there are people in your database that are not customers or distributors yet. And I would like you to try this, is to talk to them about our Essentials Pack. Okay, this is for people that have already seen the information. They've already understood what we have our hands on. But I want you to give them this strategy. Is maybe tell them and compliment them that they've always been supportive of things that you've done, but you've got something that truly is going to change their health strategy. And you want them to commit to 3 months. The first thing that you're going to get them on is going to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. The second component of this is going to increase the health of the mitochondria and the quantity of the mitochondria in the cells. Remember, that's the powerhouse of the cells. 95% of the energy in our cells is derived from mitochondria. The third part of this is the probiotic that Joanne just talked about this. I had no idea that 80% of our immune health is tied to our gut health. If your gut is not healthy, you're not going to be healthy. Okay, so this is going to improve your gut health. In turn, it's going to improve your immune health. So those are the main 3 parts, and you're going to get free shipping with this. And we know that if you give this a 3-month try, that you're gonna have results. You're gonna start to notice improved health, and you're gonna fall in love with these products. And then I would also tag along what we just talked about, because for not much more, you're gonna get the cleanse in there as well. And that's a way to restart, to shape up the beginning of every single month, is to get that cleanse in your body for 7 days, to get the gut at the most efficient way it possibly can, to take in these other things that we're putting into our body and just improve our overall health. So I'm telling you, follow up with something like that. Let people know that, in the past that we paid $15 or whatever for shipping to get all these products. Now you're going to get them free. As far as the shipping side of it, it's going to go right to your house. Give it 3 to 4 months and see what it does for you. Get these things in your body. So I hope that that was effective, that was helpful. This can be, like I said earlier, things that you can immediately put into your business, knowledge that you may have not have had before on the product side. Thank you so much, Joanne. I love listening to your knowledge, your expertise on these products as well. If you have team members that are not on this, make sure that you get the replay information out to them, and make sure that people are listening to this information. These are the building blocks of having success, is having this type of information in your tool belt to talk to your database about. So with that, we will make it a wrap, and I will get the replay out to Stu. Our next call is going to be tomorrow morning. Carrie Dickey and Stu Brody's Monday motivational call. And as always, on Thursday, there will be an opportunity call as well that you can plug into, and you can plug your guests into as well. So thanks again. Appreciate you guys all being on the call, and have a great week. Take care.